Hey everybody, welcome to episode 10 of Behind the Showy, some more news, the movie, epic storytime hour, how's it going everybody? What's up with you? 1.
Hey everybody, it's me, Daniel Vincent Gordh. I'm just on my way to bring some gear to Cody. We gotta make sure Some More News, the movie, is as epic as it can possibly be. I told Cody I would put most of the gear in a single suitcase so it'd be easier to transport, but I didn't tell him that suitcase is extremely heavy and unmanageable. So let's see how that shakes out. Excuse me, sir, I'm gonna need the secret password.
Oh my. It's oh my.
That's correct. Yes. Oh man, never mind. Is that Joe Biden up there?
This just in, we're already rolling, Cody, so maybe it's time to do the news?
Yeah, you're right. The news.
We didn't plan on making this movie. It was just going to be a little Super Mario Brothers episode. Dave Bell, who is a writer for the show and a dear friend, has a podcast network called Gamefully Unemployed. Every Friday, they watch movies. Usually, they're like kind of stupid movies.
And we just happened to be watching the Super Mario Brothers movie on a night that Cody joined.
Halfway through watching it, we both were like, so, okay, Dave, we have to write an episode about this.
We've all seen the classic award-deserving Super Mario Brothers many times.
And then we kept thinking of other points to make and other movies to talk about.
It's like, okay, well, you can't leave your apartment and you're doing a movie. How do you up the stakes? And it's like, well, time travel. You do different periods of time in the same space, and that gives it a scale. And
it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing into an even longer movie than the one that everybody saw.
This film has a surprising amount to say about fascism, our crises, our culture, our future, at least enough to fill the 20-minute episode I plan on this video being.
Cody told me that he was working on a script with Dave Bell about how the Super Mario Brothers movie parallels the world that we're living in today. At the time, I thought this was going to be like a 5-page script.
The longest version of the movie was probably ultimately going to be about 3.5 hours. Maybe 4, I don't know, it's hard to tell.
So that movie was too long. Too long for a movie. Not sure why movies should be that long. It's your Cody. If you can hear me, it's extremely important that you warn the Cody of the pasty yestertimes, or as my people call it, the time-a-rooney yesterdoodles.
Okay, a person,
One man fights to get his old news backdrop back through time travel and ends up collapsing the universe.
We were doing this in the midst of the normal show, plus our podcast and the other podcast, the election, our election anxiety. Someone hit my car. There was a lot going on that week.
Since the pandemic, typically an episode takes a few hours to film. This episode took us about 4 days to film, and not just a few hours each day, all day.
Checking the microphone. Yeah.
Get your coffee.
Recording there, recording here. Ugh. Now I gotta do it. Okay.
I'm trying to multitask here. I'll be right here. Alright, I'm turning this off.
Okay, so I've got the time. It's been a wild ride, and everything blew up. You hear that barking?
Yes.
I'm back, slut brain! Listen! Wait. Listen! Shut up! No, I spit a little bit and I want to do it again. Also, water.
It's very dangerous to switch over while you're time traveling because it will collapse into a predestination timeline where all the multiverses happen at once. I need you to have heard that.
Yeah, I remember Junk. It's cool.
One of the things that I was worried about going into this movie was Cody doing everything by himself because obviously COVID. He had to set up the lights by himself. He had to do his own audio.
There's multiple setups. There's a green screen. There's different backdrops. He's doing his own makeup. We had to keep track of all the different timelines and keep track of the length of his beard.
How's 2020 Cody holding up, by the way? After yesterday's
Like real guy?
Yeah.
I'm very tired.
Yeah.
I drank too much coffee during the shoot.
Yeah.
So I was up very late.
It was very, very stressful to make it, but it was very, very joyful and reinvigorating. There's more to it than the standard show. There are turns. There's acting involved. The whole thing felt like the good old days.
Most of us working on this movie, we met doing sketch comedy, and it was really fun to kind of scratch that itch again.
Cops are outside. I gotta go.
Fuck you, fast Cody! I'll fuck you first! Hot! I mean, no!
Oh, snap. Is he dead? Did we kill us?
So we have this Chaplin Stash Cody, 2015 Cody, and that's it. Scott Bug.
God, this looks really stupid. Get a drink pot of news milk. What's the fucking guy? He's like, yes, hello.
Yeah.
Todd, 43 years young, and now the tournament begins.
That was great.
The many things and ways about time are, wow, held together like a fucking piss shit. Recently, the multiverse became one, and by observing this event, I have now become a participant in it. So here, in other news, we now go live to many other versions of news.
We have present day Cody. We have oldie Cody from the future. We have 2021 Cody. We have 2015 Cody.
I don't know if anyone noticed, but the old version of Cody is 2 years from now.
We have British Cody, of course, Scott Bug.
There's the Hunger Games Cody, a cartoon Cody, rock and roll Cody, Macaulay Culkin, of course.
We've got Boar Cody, Sea Captain Cody, Muppet Cody. We have Matilda Cody, Chaplin Mustache Cody later on. There were so many versions. We had to trim it down.
There were some cut Codys. There was going to be a dog and a cat Cody, and there was a pulsing orb of light Cody.
Wow. Probably didn't need to be that long, you know? A lot of extra stuff that didn't have to be there.
Before we get started, just reminding ourselves of your character's arc.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah.
It was very personal, I think. I mean, the visual progression of the show happened, and that was like the bit, but it happened for real too. I film the show these days in my apartment. So oftentimes, I've got that crummy map just on my wall as I live my life. And it's a constant stream of just like, well, that's awful. That's gonna be bad. That sucks.
And that's the news. Despair and disease and Ted Cruz and fire.
This was very helpful to me personally. This whole experience was just exactly what I needed.
At its core, this movie is really about rejecting cynicism and despair and embracing hope.
Searching for hope in a world that feels like a dystopian movie. I mean, that's not bad. Not bad.
But what's important is that you finally learned your lesson or whatever. And now the movie's over, and we can all reinvigorate ourselves with the hope for the possibility of heading towards a potentially brighter future.
I'll be here with my new backdrop being rightfully, I really lost the thread there.
At the time of this recording, we are at the attempted coup phase of the election. Doesn't look like it's going well, but who's to say at this point? I do not know what timeline we are on, is my point.
You know what movie that kind of reminds me of? The Super Mario Brothers. Here is some news. Oh, it's over. Okay, well. No, wait, buy stock in Acorns! Darn, he's gone.